Hey YouTube. Okay, this is a video I promised Sean Dyer I would do. A number of people are concerned that I was not able to make it to Squirrel Camp this year. Had to turn around and come home. I was within several hours of arriving at Squirrel Camp. And I made an executive decision, a sudden decision. Let me start by saying that the reason why I did was kind of a cascading of small disasters that started with me not being able to leave on Monday morning as I had planned. I was expecting delivery of the Aunt Sarah's oven. It was supposed to arrive on Sunday. It did not arrive until Tuesday, which is when I left. So my departure was delayed. I had spent all weekend long packing. I had to unpack from the trip before, repack. Long story short, okay. Along the way, there were a number of small disasters. Some of them were as a result of poor assumptions I had made, some of them poor decisions I had made, some of them just absolute happenstance, okay? By the time I got within 7 hours of Squirrel Camp, I realized a couple of things. Number one, I realized I was going to have to spend one more night on the road because it had been revealed to me at that time that at my age, I really shouldn't be driving any more than 5 or 6 hours. It's unsafe. I'm just old. Okay, I have to admit that. You're going to have to admit that too. What that did is it made me another day late. And rather than arrive before Squirrel Camp, I was going to arrive on Friday, the day of the Squirrel Camp was going to start. And one of the reasons I stopped, well, when I did stop, another one of those small disasters occurred, and I sat down and I said, okay, look, there's a lot of stuff going on here. Let me take stock. Okay, let me reevaluate my position. And while going through things in my head, I realized I had made a couple of I'd left a couple other things behind, yada, yada, yada. But the following morning, I made a discovery that where I said, okay, that's it. I got to turn around. I got to go back. Let me show you the proximate cause. This, right here. I unloaded this from the truck as soon as I got home. Okay, can you see that? What that is a handful of dog food. This is what I would have had at this time at Squirrel Camp, leaving the next morning to feed the dog for a week. Okay, I've made bunches of trips in the truck. Okay, long multi-day trips, taking the dog with me. I've never made a mistake like that, never. Okay, the dog has always been well fed. And I decided, since I didn't have enough food, I needed to turn around and go back. Now, you're going to say, well, Sarge, why don't you just go to the store and buy some dog food? The short answer to that is I can't. Little Bit is on a prescription diet, and she has been for the past 12 years. And it is that prescription diet and the grace of God that I credit the fact that Little Bit has lived to be 15 years old. Now that's 105 years old in people years. Okay, yet she still runs around. She runs around in the woods. She's a very vibrant and active dog. And like I said, I credit God's grace and this food. So it wasn't a simple matter of stopping and giving some puree in the dog chow. I had to go home. Otherwise, well, let me just tell you, it took about 2 years for us to figure out the exact formula of the prescription diet. And every time we did, we had to introduce it slowly because the vet said any abrupt changes in her diet is going to be bad for her. So we have to do it gradually. And so it took a while to figure it out. Okay, she's been eating it. I get 12 years now, and she's doing fine. She's doing fantastic. But I had to get home so I could have the food to keep my dog alive. Is basically, and that's, to a lot of people that's going to sound silly, but it's not. I'm an old man living alone with a dog, and once that dog's gone, I'm an old man living alone. Okay. She came to me. She was under the crawl space of my house when I had the house out in the country. Somebody had dumped her. God had saved her by having her seek shelter under the house, and she didn't get eaten by the coyotes like all the other dumped dogs do. And she was sent, my belief, to keep my dog Scout, who at that time was 10 years old, to keep him company during the last year and a half of his life. And now she's keeping me company in the last few years of mine. I've said this before, God sent me the best dog last. Okay? Now, I am not going to claim that I know the mind of God. However, I am open to the possibility that He sent me each one of those small disasters as kind of a spiritual noogie on the top of my head. Wake me up, get my situational awareness back to figure out what was wrong. Okay, what the big thing was. I had forgotten, ignored, or made the mistake on. So that's it. That's the main reason I came back. The totality of all the small disasters. There's one that actually turned out to be good, and there will be a video on that in the Big Steel Tent series. But with the total span, the total amount of those disasters, and each one occurring boom, 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 kind of demoralizing, and in and of themselves presented kind of a this is not fun anymore kind of atmosphere. But when I found out that, harm could come to the one being on the planet that I love the most, that's when I decided to turn around and come back. Now, I do want to say I do apologize to anybody who was counting on me being there at Squirrel Camp, bringing all the stuff that it's still in the truck. I've got to unload it. All the food, the goods that I was going to do show and tell, the deal we were going to do, that's still active. We just figured out a way to make the trade. I do want to say to all you guys at Squirrel Camp, James, Sean, Nate, Dave, Jerry Lee, who's new, Charles Smiley, who came with him, Robert Scheib, anybody else I've missed. I can see by the pictures and the videos, y'all had a great time, and I missed something special. Okay. I will be back next year. I want to say that we are collectively building a very eclectic and diverse little community here. And I really think that this particular hobby, this weirdness that we do, is gaining traction, is finding more people to participate in. And it's events like Squirrel Camp and the advertising, the promotion of the event. It's going to keep that momentum going. I'm just very disappointed I'm not going to be able to be part of that. Dave Canterbury's already got a video up. I know that Sean and Nate are going to have one each. This is my paltry contribution, such as it is. So normally I say I'll see you down the trail, but on this one I'm going to say see you next year at Squirrel Camp.